Everybody, good morning. Happy Jimmy Carter Day, I guess. Jimmy Carter Observance Day, however you want to look at it. I'm not sure. Markets closed in observance of the funeral procession, or I don't know. It's not been communicated very clearly on any of the media that I watch. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So, markets closed. What do we do? Well, actually, the futures just closed. Funny enough, they were open till 8:15 Central Time, which is 9:15, which is just right now. And if you didn't know that that was the way this was working today, well, surprise! Futures were open last night and just closed for the equities. For grains and most of the rest of grains and metals and things like that, they all close at 12:15, which would be 1:15 Eastern Time. Yeah, 12:15 Central Time. Everything's run by the CBO, the CFTC, Commodities and Futures Trading Exchange, or Commission, whatever, in Chicago, and or CME. I don't know, however it all runs. Anyway, a mixed bag of when things close. So, jumping over, looking at things, we're gonna do a crypto special because, well, that's the way it rolls. But how did we end up yesterday? How did we end up yesterday? That is a big question, and we'll go through that as soon as we hit the all trading involves a substantial risk of loss, especially crypto, and past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. Just because I say things and I get it right a lot doesn't mean I'll ever get it right again. I may just start being wrong all the time, like Jim Cramer. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, including cryptos. So no stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, and treasuries, or any other thing like the financial instruments. Don't trade them. All right. There's a substantial risk of loss in all trading. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. Calendar today is markets kind of closed, and tomorrow we get the jobs reports and stuff. Unemployment, non-farm jobs, hourly, like this ought to create some sparkiness right before the market opens. So be careful out there. Then we get the inflation and consumer sentiments after the market's open. While we didn't plummet out yesterday during the market, well, check this out. Look where we are overnight. Pushing back into the bottom of the range. Dun, 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 dun. Uh-oh. So, that's not great. We were getting a little reprieve yesterday, pushing down lower overnight. NQ pushing down lower. Russell pushing down lower. So we're seeing lower overnight all over the board. That's the name of the game. So what am I watching out for tomorrow? Well, back to the roadmap line. That's the daily roadmap line. Looks like where we're going. I still think, maybe I don't know what the reason is going to be. Yesterday, when the Fed meeting minutes came out, FOMC minutes, it looked like every single person on the committee was blaming Trump policy for the inflation to come and the fact that they're going to have to raise rates. Already blaming Trump for policy errors. And it's just ridiculous. Look, we're already like, they should just leave this crap alone. They should have quit cutting, or should have quit raising rates back here and just left it down here. Now they've cut one more than they probably should have. Should have just left it right there. We went too high, now we're going too low, and we're going to have to raise rates. And that's going to cause the market to flush. More than likely. We raise rates some more, market's going to flush, but then we'll probably go through some expansion just like we did. Right over here, 2022 was rough as we raised rates, but then we hit the bottom. Funny enough, the blue told us where we hit the bottom, and we've got expansion in the market. The market likes stability. Rates were kind of stable, although now, look at this 1, 2, 3 wave correction, and we're starting to break higher. So watch out for that. things can get spicy here pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm thinking we're going to flush. We've been respecting the 15-minute roadmap line. If you want to keep track of something, set an alert. If we start breaking through that, this is going to quit ticking here in a minute. This is 10-minute delay. And then it'll reopen 6 p.m. tonight. And we'll get some moves. So looking at NKD over here. Also drifting lower. Looking at the daily. Sitting here at the upper end of the box. We can easily flush at the bottom end of the box. Be careful out here. Be careful out here. Things are definitely not the best condition for going higher right at the moment. I think we're going to get a flush. It's going to be sudden. It could be a sudden drop like we did back here, like 1, 2, 3 days. Oh, man. We could do that again pretty easily. We did this 1, 2, 3 right down to the roadmap line. We could be down there in a day or 3. One day like we had back on the FOMC day puts us right down there. So be careful out there. That's what I got to say. The market is closed today, regular equities market. So let's hit some crypto. Hopefully that's interesting to you. If it's not, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I'm going to bring up my crypto power plays list. So I offer something called Crypto Power Plays. It's not really been for sale for a while, except as an add-on to Crypto Unleashed. Crypto Unleashed, just to kind of brush through my crypto offerings. Crypto Unleashed is something I came up with after I had Crypto Power Plays. Crypto Power Plays, I kind of keep my thumb on the market and go through all of these charts pretty much every single week and make an update video. And if I find opportunities and I'm taking one of them, I throw them out there for other people. They're not, trade alerts, you could say, but more opportunities. Now, some of these are in the regular stock market. Some of these are in popular crypto markets like Coinbase or Crypto.com or, Binance, one of those places where you can buy. Some of them you have to go to DeFi to get. Some of these coins are crazy coins that aren't listed at a major exchange yet, and you have to go to DeFi like these ones down here, like Breadcat, Gigasoul, things like that. So I kind of chase a little bit of everything in the crypto market. Now, that's kind of Crypto Power Plays. And one of the chief complaints when I launched that was that it's difficult to keep track. Like, I don't want crypto wallets. I don't want to go try to do DeFi. I don't want to have a bunch of different accounts, because when you look at crypto, there's no one exchange. All right. There's almost 780 exchanges. You notice only 454 coins are at Binance. 719 coins are at Bybit. 270 coins are at Coinbase. 800 coins are at OKX. Not 800, 300 coins, number of coins. Now, when you look up here, there's 2.4 million cryptos. These numbers are not anywhere close. Not anywhere close to 2.4 million. In fact, only a couple of them are even over 1,000. None of them over 10,000 or 20,000. I mean, that's just crazy, right? When you think about it. So where do you go to trade all the coins? There's nowhere. So it gets complicated. And that was a chief complaint. Like, some people don't like complicated trading. I mean, that leaves room for mistakes. I've said that a lot. Just keep it stupidly simple. And that's where Crypto Unleashed was born. Crypto Unleashed is my way to keep it stupidly simple and just trade a monthly pattern that shows up on Bitcoin's price action every month. Now, does it always work? No, it doesn't always work. And then I had this wild idea after doing Greenlight Income Alerts, which is my income trade based on the S&P 500. I was like, we were digging through, looking at some of the premium and stuff available in crypto names, tickers. I was like, holy moly, look how much premium is available in some of these crypto-related tickers. And I started applying my Greenlight Income Alerts kind of criteria a little bit to crypto-related tickers. Found kind of a different activation mechanism a little bit, especially the first week or two after a new option's created. And there's insane premium there. So we've been through a few iterations of what it's called. It was called Beto income, then it was called crypto income. Now it's currently called engineered income. And we have that product too, that's income off of crypto. And there's several other things that people want me to do, or think I should do in the crypto space. Like one of these automated apply the Apollo algorithm to crypto. Well, surprise. The reason that's not a thing yet is because it doesn't work. Like it's like 50-50. Crypto hadn't really been around long enough to establish a long history. I mean, Bitcoin's only been around 16 years. Most of the indexes, I've got 24 years worth of back data that I adjusted and set up the Apollo algorithm with. The price pattern, while it does work, it's kind of choppy a little bit. So the criteria would have to change a little bit. I don't have enough data really to adjust that algorithm to crypto specifically and figure out the highest probability trades. So that's why it's not a thing yet. Now, maybe I get to that in the future. Maybe I don't. We'll see. So that's kind of like why that isn't a thing yet. It's not reliable. All right. It's not producing 70+% win rate like I would expect it to do. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means sometimes things are a little choppier. There's nothing more volatile than crypto, right? Now, that brings us back to here. So I loaded the crypto power plays list. This is the list I go through every week. And if you're interested in any of this kind of stuff, you can call customer support. They don't have any kind of sales set up today. They're halfway closed, I guess. So if you're interested in that stuff, let me know. I'll throw the phone number stuff up for you. If you're just interested. If you're not, that's no big deal too. So that's cool. I mean, we can just be rocking and rolling here. So I think it's like 321-888-3962. Press the number 1. If you're interested in crypto power plays or crypto unleashed or engineered income, I think they might still honor the sale we had on crypto income or crypto unleashed, where if you get a lifetime of crypto unleashed, you can get a year of engineered income for free. That sale's still out there. So if you call in and ask for it, maybe they'll put you in on it. They might have closed the door on that. I don't know. The publisher kind of runs their own thing. This here on YouTube is separate. While it's related, it is kind of separate. So this is a 3-wave retrace on an initial drop right there. Initial drop, 3-wave retrace. This is total. This is the total market cap of crypto. Now, how do you trade total? You just buy a bunch of crypto, basically. And the two main, when we look at the market cap of crypto, it is primarily Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's going to be 70% of it right there. 56.7% is Bitcoin, 12% is Ethereum. Add those together, you're right up there, right next to 70%. 68.8% right now. Not bad, right? 68.8. So you can buy those. And then we have, adding in the market cap, we have Tether, XRP, Binance, Solana, Dogecoin. And you'd be like, JT, which one's your favorite? I like Bitcoin, but we're going to go through a correction here. It's probably going to go back to 80,000. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. So when we look at the total, this is everything that TradingView keeps track of as far as the market cap of crypto. Now, every exchange is different. Now, this is very unlike U.S. markets. Everybody's used to, it doesn't matter where you go. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, Webull, Tasty Trade, Interactive Brokers, Robinhood. Doesn't matter where you go. Usually you can trade just about any option, any ticker, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, doesn't matter. Just about anywhere you go, you can trade them all. That's not so in crypto, right? Crypto there's no central exchange at all. That's why I kind of started there a minute ago, and I'm saying it a different way. There's 780 different exchanges, and there's no one-stop shop. It makes it a complicated, fragmented environment, but that's kind of the beauty of it too. So if you've ever traded Forex, it's kind of the same concept. Most Forex brokers list all the Forex, but most crypto brokers can't afford to get exposure to all these coins. So they're all standalone. There's arbitration between them to balance the prices, but they all have their own price for Bitcoin. There's no central price for Bitcoin. When we talk about the price of Bitcoin, there's no central price. So when we talk about the total market cap, this is TradingView's market cap. It's not a central thing. That's why if you look on here, it's 3.16. You look over here, it's 3.24. Different market caps. It's not because it's lagging or anything like that. It's because there's no centralized authority on what the market cap of crypto is. Now, that's a difficult concept for a lot of people. So be careful when you try to relate crypto to the US market or to gold or to anything. Like, a lot of people have a lot of trouble with this. Right? I've heard it so many times over the years. Bitcoin's the new gold. But Bitcoin's a new asset class. Crypto's a new asset class altogether. So you cannot take, you can take kind of principles from other segments of the market, but you can't say it's the new gold, or it's it is its own asset class. It has its own unique features and benefits and cons. If you want to, own pros, own cons, if you want to look at it that way. So this is a corrective move up in the total market cap of crypto. That move down was the first move down. This move up was the corrective move up. This next move down puts us right down here, right down there. That's probably where we're heading, right down there. We're in a correction. We're going to get it. Total 2 takes out Bitcoin and looks pretty much the exact same. Takes out the market cap of Bitcoin and it looks like we're going to push just a little bit lower, possibly down in this area right here on this next flush, right down in there. Total 3 takes out Bitcoin and Ethereum. And look, there's a drastic change here. So Ethereum is kind of dragging it down. When we look at this right here, move down, move up, and puts us in the same vicinity right there. And that's kind of the way it all is right there. Others takes out the top 10. That still looks like we're going down right there. We did hit an extension on others, and this has gotten a little spicier than just the general. So we've seen more liquidation in what they call altcoins or crap coins or meme coins. And this may go a bit deeper, and we see some more pain in altcoins, non-top 10 coins. So we may see more pain down there than we see in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So be careful on this correction. This is probably going to carry through. We're likely not going to be anywhere near as deep as we were in August. This has made a very positive move up. If we hold above this high, right, this high coming across here, that would create non-overlap on this correction. If we just pop down in here, find support, turn here and go higher, beautiful, beautiful. I still expect it to go higher. We'll talk about that, what that kind of means here in a second as we get into Bitcoin. Now, there's lots of Bitcoin. Like when you type in BTC, USD, as I talk about, you can get Bitstamps, you can get Coinbases, you can get Binances, you can get the all-time history from TradingView. It's kind of what they've kind of calculated it as. And you can go to all these other exchanges. There are tons of them. You can go look up the different prices at all these different exchanges. Now, I like to use the all-time history quite a bit when I'm talking about it on here. And looky, we're right down to that support I've been talking about almost every morning for weeks. Probably going to go down right there. We turned down right at the resistance. We broke down below the candle I was talking about. I closed my leveraged positions. We're probably heading right down here. It's just, I've seen this type of price action so many times before. If you're long and you haven't liquidated yet, and you're in something that's not in the crypto market where you can't liquidate it today, you're probably going to ride it down into this zone right there. I do expect it to hold in that area. I'll probably get back on my leverage somewhere in that vicinity. Probably going to drop back down to in the 80s, maybe even as low as 70, the high 70s. More than likely, that's where we're going. All right. If you don't want it to happen, too bad. More than likely, that's what we're doing. We're going to get a nice liquidation on a lot of crypto. Now, what happens after that? Probably go higher. This is probably going to happen into the inauguration, and then probably going to rally up there. 50 to 70,000 is kind of my ideal target. Don't really expect much more than that. We could get spicier than that. And that next rally possibly take us out into the summer. Maybe even last as long as October. Could last a little longer. But I think once we get out in the summer and October, that's probably the end of the game. Probably going to start into crypto winter after we make those highs sometime in the summer. And, well, crypto winter is going to last probably through 2026, mid to late 2026, and then we can start, working off the bottom. Now, if you haven't been here before, crypto typically retraces 80 to 90% after making a high. If we stop in that vicinity of 70,000, let's just clear a few of these things off here real quick. Stop in that vicinity up here where the target is, around 70,000. An 80 to 90% pullback looks something like this. 60, 70. I'm going to have to pull the chart down just a little bit. We're not even far enough down. Oh my gosh, how do you invest in anything that goes down, back down into the 30s? Be careful out there, all right? I don't expect it to ever go below 25,000 again. But I do expect us to retrace all the way back down here again. All the way back down. Probably in the $30,000, $40,000 area. Now, if we can get on up a little higher, possibly to the upper end of my target range, up around 300, 400,000, well, that could set us up. 492, that'd be pretty nice, but that could set us up for not going quite as deep. But we're still going to come back into the 6-figure numbers, or 5-figure numbers, I guess you say. 5-figure numbers. Still going to come into the 5-figure numbers. Back in the 50, 60, 70,000 area. All right. So this is going to happen. Like, this is going to occur. We're going to pop up here more than likely. And then we're going to retrace out here in 26. We're going to make a bottom somewhere out here. And then we're going to start on the next halving run. The next halving event occurs in 2028. The last one occurred in 2024. We're already 1 year into this baby. Almost, in April, it will be 1 year post-halving. Halving run usually takes a little while. Then we go through crypto winter. Then we make a bottom. And then we start on the next one. All right. You can say, oh, but this time's different. It's not different. It's not going to be different. All right. How high we go, how hyped it gets, that's the only thing that's really different. We've hit the 1618 extension of the pullback every single time. That would be up here right around 170, 180,000. Well, depends on which one of these charts you look at. Roughly 170,000 would be the 1618. Doing it 10 times off the low puts us 157,000. So somewhere in that 150, 170,000 is where I expect us to go. Simple as that. Been saying this for years, literally years, since I mentioned that we hit the bottom here early November 2022. It was time to load up. I've been beating the drum that here's the target. So upside gain, even if we get down to 80, we still only have like 60% upside gain left to go. So while that's, you're looking at 120, 115, 120% upside, doubling your money basically, almost. Depends on how you look at the, what the upside is there. And then we're going to correct. And we're going to come down here. So be careful. A leveraged way to play, I've talked about. BitX. You don't have to buy options. You can just buy this when it gets down to the roadmap line. BitU, another way to play. If you believe in Ethereum, which I'd be careful, it's on a little bit different path, but ETHU, that's a way to get 2x leverage there. There's other ways to play other things, but those are the leverage ones, right? And be careful on leverage. All leverage carries a significant risk of loss. These things can just liquidate at any time. All right, you got to read the prospectus, know what you're getting into. There's liquidation criteria. If these things mess up and blow out, they can just liquidate them. It's just gone. All right, that's the downside to trading these leverage instruments. And how do you buy options on Bitcoin? There's no great way, but you could go with BlackRock's IBIT here. BlackRock has IBIT. They run that. And if we come down here, there are options available on IBIT. And you notice that the price of IBIT here is right around 53 bucks per share. What does 53 bucks per share get you? You have to go read the prospectus, but it gets you a basket invested into Bitcoin. Now you can play covered calls on this. This is not leveraged. This is just, and this does have a cost. It has a carry cost. If you go buy Bitcoin itself, you don't have carry cost, but this has an expense ratio. That's their published expense ratio. And then they also add on, kind of like at the dealer, they do this tax tag and title thing. Any other costs that they experience to run this, they add in to that expense ratio. All right, that's how much they're getting paid to manage it. And then they add in any other costs and throw that in there too. And they take that out nightly. So you can say, great. I don't like that. Don't trade it. Now, something you can do though, when you get into IBIT, is you can go over here and you say, well, I want to, Michael Saylor, he's the MicroStrategy CEO. His company buys tons of Bitcoin. You may have seen him in the news. And he says 20% a year on Bitcoin. Well, we expect it to go rock and roll and higher after we go on a dip. But if you just wanted to get in, maybe you want to wait for the dip to occur in the coming days. But assuming you didn't even do timing and you just said, well, 20% a year. So we've got 53. Let's pop up the calculator. Just easy peasy. Grab the calculator. Say 53 times 1.2, 20% upside, 63. All right, what if I wanted to come out here to the February expiration, normal expiration for the monthly, third week of the month, and you come down here and you say, hey, I could sell this upside in this 20% upside area and probably cover the expense ratio in just 1 month, maybe a little better. And then if it gets taken out, I made 20% upside plus a little extra premium. If it, I guess there's the price right there, $1.40, $1.25, depends on which one you want to go for. And if you don't get taken out, you can turn around and do this again in March. So this is a way to create some income in a relatively unrisky way. You can turn around and do it in March. Of course, the prices will be lower by then. You can go from 20% upside from wherever you are once you do it. And I mean, look at these, pretty spicy here. Bring in $2.50 here in March. And then April will get printed. Right now they don't have it, but you can turn around. And you look at this, the volatility. A little bit of volatility right there at that strike, 54.50. The volatility curve, pretty flat. So there's not really, since Bitcoin doesn't have earnings, there's no big spike in here. The more time you buy, this is relatively flat even. So there's no, usually you'll see this be kind of more like this, where you see near term is a little spicier and then longer term is a little flatter. But that's not, we're actually seeing a relatively flat volatility curve. So the more time you go out there, you're going to get paid about the same amount of money. for that extra time. So it's something unique here to iBit. It's pretty much the only, what if you want to do Fidelity or something like that? When you look at FBTC, there's no options. None of the other Bitcoin ETFs have options. iBit's the only one. So if you want to go with that, that's what you got to be. You can't do ARC-B. There's no options. That's the three biggest ones: ARC, Fidelity, and BlackRock. So if you wanted to do covered calls on Bitcoin, this is your option at this point. Right there. All right. Now, something I pulled up the other day. Go look at this really quickly. Leave the site. Pop over. Products. You can come down here to options in TradingView. And you can be like, well, I want to do some sort of covered call strategy. And you can actually build that right in here. You can build a strategy with a covered call and see how it's going to work. All right. You can use this thing, graph it out, see what you got, see what kind of premium you can get, see what your max profit, all that thing. So you can use this new tool, options, right there inside TradingView. It's a beta product, so it may not be perfect. You may want to defer to your broker's platform. Just throwing that out there. We can pull up iBit, and you can actually create it if I can get it to pull up. And it's being stupid at the moment. Awesome. Cool. Love it. Not working properly. Don't you just love it when something doesn't work right? Anyway. Maybe because the market's closed, it won't pull it up. All right. So there you go. That's BITO is not Bitcoin. You got to be careful. BITO is a different critter. There's something else going on here. Look at these dividends. Dollar, $1, $1.20, $1.40. How in the world are they getting dividends? Because people have over invested in this and they're actually paying out what they call net asset value. They have too much money into this thing. And you look at this is not Bitcoin's price chart right here. So be very careful. When we overlay this, you notice something drastically different here? I do. Let's look at the last year. Something drastically different. BITO has basically gone nowhere in the last year, while Bitcoin's gone up 125%. Something's not right. So be careful. Even though that says Bitcoin ETF, it's not. It's a Bitcoin futures ETF. Bitcoin futures have a high carry cost. And that's why this is down here and this is up here. Be very, very careful what you're getting involved in. Go read the prospectus. Go read the prospectus. This used to be the only way you could play. Now it's become very dangerous to play this way. All right. As compared to, why do I talk about BitX? Look at that. BitU, got to pull it back, line it up. Some outperformance on BitU. A little bit of overperformance on the downside, a little bit of overperformance on the upside. That's what you expect from an Ultra, which is leveraged instrument. All right. And BitQ is something else different. This is not, and this is crypto industry innovators. All right. While it's kind of tracking with Bitcoin because, well, most of the rest of the market of crypto tracks with Bitcoin. You got to go look at what this baby is. What is this thing? This thing is 10% MSTR, 10%, excuse me, almost 10% Coinbase, almost 10% Mara, and then MB2, Riot, Galaxy, Applied, Cores, Wolf, CIFR. Nowhere in there is that Bitcoin. Nowhere in there is that Ethereum. So be careful, all right? Know what you're trading. That's not a proxy for Bitcoin. All right? Go look up the prospectus. Like, I'm not even looking at the prospectus. I'm just using the tools in TradingView. But go read the prospectus. Go to Bitwise's page and go pull up the prospectus for, go to the homepage right there. Roll down here. Load up the prospectus. Read it, understand it, see what they're doing. How are they making, what do they do with your money when you buy in here? If you don't understand it, don't buy it. Period. It's my best advice. Don't mess with ETFs you don't understand. All right? So, are these things created equal? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, looking at this chart, probably coming down to the roadmap line, just like all these others. All right. Let's pop in, look at a few other things. We'll run for another 10 minutes or so. So Ethereum, I talked about that. We're already down to the roadmap line, but, big butts, lots of butts. Check this out. The first move down, all the way to the roadmap line. Retrace, right there. Next move down puts us down here around 2,700. Blush. Somewhere down there. Now, a lot of the altcoins all kind of look the same. A few don't. Solana, already touching the roadmap line. This actually tried to break out. So it's somewhere in between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Ethereum hasn't really tried to break out. Look where the high was, all the way up here. All-time high, all the way up here. We got nowhere close to that. Nowhere close to that. Whereas Bitcoin here, it's been at all-time highs. It's been making new all-time highs. Ethereum has not. Ethereum, something's going on. That chart may fail and go lower. This may just be a big correction here. One down, one up. We may be looking for a bigger down. To fix that here in a second. This could be looking for a bigger down here. Ooh, that's nasty. I don't think anybody's counting on that. Ethereum made a fundamental change right back in here, September 2022. Fundamental change. It didn't make a bottom in November like Bitcoin. It made its bottom back here in the summer. Things got excited about this change, this fundamental change. But what they did, they kicked out miners. They were doing proof of work like Bitcoin, running tons of computers and mining Ethereum. They kicked them out and went proof of stake. They made that change in September 22. And since then, the chart has suffered. It caught a little bit of bid with Bitcoin, but then hasn't performed. It didn't, barely poked a new high for the year right there when Bitcoin broke out, but quickly started taking it back. Something's wrong. It's a red flag. If you have exposure, very big exposure to Ethereum, you probably should consider where you might want to get out. Because if you want to write it down, yeah. And this is not a, got to put it on a log scale to get the actual. If you want to write it down, there's the target right there, possibly down to 600. First move down, retrace. If that's the high, we don't make any more high, probably heading down here, back to 600. Oof. That sucks. Right? So be careful. Solana, on the other hand, popped up here, almost made a new high, retraced to the roadmap line, and may break out, maybe looking for the extension right up here to catch up to Bitcoin. That looks like more normal price action like we see across many, many cryptos. You know, as long as we hold this downtrend of highs right here, as long as we hold it, set for a pop up here when Bitcoin makes its final run. And a lot of people are like, XRP. That may have played out its hand already. Be careful. Could we go higher? It's possible. Could it take over for Ethereum? Sure, it's possible. We go look at the prices. Let's just pop back over here really quickly. Let's just talk big numbers. If XRP was to take over from Ethereum, take over the number 2 spot, money flows out of Ethereum, money flows into Solana. So that would be roughly 3x. Put us up to that number. 3x bigger. What kind of price would that be? 3x higher. $6, maybe $7. $6 to $7. Is it going to 100? Probably not. 100 would put this number in an insane number. Not going there right now. Not in the limited time we have left in this crypto summer. This will pull back in crypto winter. These numbers are going lower. So 6 to 7, where does that put us? Puts us right up here. Potential right in that neighborhood. Does that look possible? Yeah, looks possible. What else looks possible? Return to the roadmap line. That's back to $1. That's 50% loss. Back to this consolidation area. Also looks possible. Back to 55 cents. That could hurt. Be careful. Know where you're wrong. Have your stop level if you're going to chase this one. All right. Now, I can sit here and talk about all these other miners and stuff all day. Likely, Mora and CleanSpark are the only 2 crypto miners that are relatively debt-free that might make it through the next crypto winter. Everything else might be subject to mergers and acquisitions. So I could go through them all day. BTBT probably going away in the next crypto winter. During the next expansion, we could see a rally 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30. Possible. Things get crazy when Bitcoin runs. When Bitcoin rips, we see it, things get crazy. Things can be irrational. Things can hit prices you don't expect. So we see this pop. Things are probably going to get a little spicy. But then everybody's going to get overly bullish, make stupid decisions that this is going to continue. And when we go into the next crypto winter, things are going to go bust. It's not possible. There's going to be another crypto winter. What if there's not? It's not on. Like, everybody said that every time since the beginning. It's Human Psychology 101. There's going to be another crypto winter. It's just the way it works. Anybody that thinks there's not going to be is going to be sorely disappointed when we have it. I know lots of smart people thinking we're going to rip to $1 million. It's not going to happen. Highly likely. I give it like a 90% chance we top in this area right here between 150 and 200,000. And we go down again. All right. That's kind of a crypto special for today. I didn't plan on going through tons and tons of cryptos. I just wanted to give people a heads up on crypto, kind of get some stuff on the record. Now, after this pullback over here, 80, 70, 80, 90%, we'll get another expansion. We'll go on another run. That low, just speculate somewhere around 40,000, put it down there, and we're likely to go to up around 400, 500,000. Next crypto summer, out in 2028, 2029. After we make the bottom in 26, we'll start the rally up there. Then we'll pull back again. And then we'll do it again. There you go. So if you plan for it, but you have the contingent that it might not happen, that's okay. Like, know when you're wrong. It might. I mean, the market can always do whatever it wants to do. All right, we could go to 1 million. Like, it can do that on Bitcoin. Is it likely? Very, very unlikely. I give it a 1% chance on this crypto cycle. Maybe less than a 1% chance. But there's still a chance. We could still do that. That's 10 times higher from where we are. I mean, roughly 10 times higher from where we are now. It's possible. What are the ETFs doing about the coming crypto winter? They're not. There's no plan. Go read their prospectus. Everybody's like, there's no. That's the whole thing about this crypto market. Nobody wants to believe the realities that we do the same pattern every time. The people I know real life people, my FedEx driver, real life person, he's a millionaire because he believes this cycle is going to keep going. He buys in every time on the dip, and he sells out every time at the top. Completely sells out. Doesn't hold anything through the cycle. Waits for the dip, buys back in. He's like, it's the most reliable cycle I've ever seen. He's a multimillionaire. It's going to keep going. Planning for it to do otherwise is okay, but be very, very careful. Trying to bet against the cycle that's already established. It's just a human psychology cycle combined with the way the halving works. So near term, we're probably going down to the 80s. Highly likely. Be careful. That would be a buying opportunity potentially. Now, could it fail there? Could we be done with this cycle? Yeah, we could. It's possible. Possible we ran the course already. It's done. We hit the 1272 extension already. We already hit it. There's the possibility that was it. Would that suck? Absolutely. I think we're likely to do that. If you look at the total market cap of crypto and compare it to other things, Bitcoin going up to 150,000. That's about 50% more money. That's about $1 trillion more added in here. That puts it right up here with the top assets, right in the $3 trillion club. Is it likely to break through the $3 trillion club? Probably not. Probably not likely to exceed Apple or Nvidia. Not on this cycle. It's just the reality of it. Now, in the next cycle, we might be able to. This cycle, probably not. Cold hard reality, supported by lots of Fibonacci number. So, yeah, 140, good spot. You might cut yourself a little short if we go to 170, but if you're happy with it, that's cool. I think 150 to 170, that's probably where we're going. So good luck out there. I'll be back again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9:15 tomorrow. We'll look at what's moving in the market. Hopefully we can wrap up this correction in the coming days and get done with this stuff and move on. I'm not a big fan of corrections, but hey, I made the most money I've ever made during a correction. So we're likely working on the top in the markets, and Bitcoin may be a part of that. Like, we may have to flush this whole thing. Bitcoin, S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, we have to flush everything. Then we go to this final move, ride higher with Bitcoin, top it out somewhere in the summer, and then everything's rolling together. S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, Bitcoin. So thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for spending the morning with me.